Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to share with you our ideas on how we can make learning more exciting. Our title for today is Let's Make Learning Exciting, and the subtitle is Improving the Classroom Environment. In this session, we'll explore some creative ways to enhance our classroom spaces and engage students more effectively. So, let's get started and discover how we can make a positive difference together. Let's take a moment to imagine a typical classroom. What do you see? Sterile, blank white walls. Sometimes these walls can make the space feel cold and uninspiring. Now, think about how that affects the mood. Dull spirits sink, and students might feel less motivated or engaged. This brings us to a crucial question. Is your classroom truly welcoming, or does it unintentionally create a barrier to learning and connection? The core problem we're addressing today is dull classrooms. When the environment lacks vibrancy and inspiration, it can lead to boredom and disengagement among students. So, understanding this issue is the first step toward creating more inviting, lively spaces that foster enthusiasm and curiosity. My main job as a teacher is to create the best conditions for learning to happen. That means setting up an environment where students feel safe, motivated, and engaged. When the conditions are right, learning becomes more natural and effective. Our aim, and I think this is so important, is to generate excitement. Yes, excitement. Because when students are excited, they're more curious, more eager to explore, and more likely to retain what they learn. So, everything we do should be geared toward inspiring that enthusiasm. This connects directly to the overall theme of making learning meaningful and enjoyable. By focusing on creating the right conditions, we're helping students not just absorb facts, but truly thrive. Let's take a moment to think about how learners see you in the classroom. The slide here highlights several roles you might embody. Are you seen as a mentor, someone who provides guidance and support? Or perhaps as a resource, a go-to source for information and knowledge? Maybe you're viewed as a friend, creating a comfortable and approachable environment. Some learners might see you as a colleague, someone they collaborate with, or even as a manager, guiding their progress and setting expectations. And for others, you might be perceived as an authority, someone with expertise and credibility. Now the key question is, who are you in this classroom setting? Are you aware of the role you naturally fall into and how that impacts your interactions? Recognizing this helps us understand how learners perceive us, and ultimately, how we can better connect, motivate, and support them. Remember, your role isn't fixed. It can shift depending on the situation and your approach. So, reflect on your current role, and think about how you want to be viewed to foster a more effective and engaging learning environment. Let's talk about where lots of growth happens and how it relates to our environment. When we ask, where lots is planted and lots grows, we're really exploring the idea that the right conditions and care can turn a simple spot into a thriving garden. Now, think about your classroom. Could it be a garden too? A place where ideas, curiosity, and learning grow just like plants. So I want you to consider, is your classroom a garden? Sunflower, by nurturing curiosity and fostering a positive environment, we can help our students flourish, just like plants in a well-tended garden. Remember, the theme here is about growth, whether it's plants or minds, and how we can create the perfect conditions for both to thrive. All right, let's talk about how we can keep our brains sharp and active. First, it's really important to stay active and engaged, not just physically but mentally as well. When we challenge ourselves and stay curious, we build mental strength, which helps us handle stress and learn new things more easily. Challenging your limits is key. Pushing yourself a little beyond your comfort zone encourages growth and resilience. Remember, your brain is like a muscle. The more you work it out, the stronger it gets. That's why I like to think of the classroom as a gymnasium for your mind. Just as you go to the gym to build physical strength, you need to train your brain with mental workouts and active learning. So, stay active, challenge yourself, and keep building that mental muscle. Your brain will thank you. So here we are with slide 7, and it's all about experimenting with language and ideas. Now, you might be wondering, is this really a laboratory? Well, in a way, yes it is. Think of this space as a kind of mental laboratory where we test out new concepts, push boundaries, and explore how language shapes our understanding. It's a place where creativity meets analysis, and where ideas can be mixed, refined, and experimented with. This ties into our overall theme of innovation and the power of language to influence thought. Essentially, it's about making this process of discovery playful yet purposeful, giving us the freedom to challenge the status quo and come up with fresh perspectives. So remember, whether you're crafting a new narrative or exploring unfamiliar concepts, this is your experimental zone. Welcome to this slide about a dynamic learning space. Here, you'll notice there's lots of noise, various activities happening all at once, and performers engaging with the audience. It might look chaotic at first glance, but that's actually the beauty of this environment. Some might even ask, is it a circus? And I understand why. They can seem similar with all the energy and movement. But in reality, this vibrant setup is designed to foster engagement, creativity, and collaboration among learners. This kind of space emphasizes that learning isn't always quiet or structured. It can be lively and interactive. It connects to our overall theme of innovative education, where embracing diversity of activities and approaches sparks curiosity and deeper understanding. So, think of this as a place where learning is active, dynamic, and full of life. All right, let's talk about some practical ways to improve the learning environment. First, raising issues at meetings is really important. If something isn't working or could be better, speaking up helps ensure everyone's voice is heard and improvements can be made. Next, a simple tip for reducing desk noise: try using blue tack. It's a small trick, but it can make a big difference in keeping distractions down during lessons. Another way to improve acoustics is by using rugs or curtains. They help absorb sound and prevent echoes, creating a more comfortable, focused space for everyone. Now, moving on to lighting. It's crucial to check if students see clearly. Asking them if they can see the board or their materials helps identify any visual issues early on. Using blinds to control bright sunlight is also key. Too much glare can be distracting or make it hard to see, so adjusting the blinds keeps the light just right. And don't forget to check the lighting overall. Move any obstructions that might cast shadows or block the light. Proper lighting makes a big difference in keeping the room bright and conducive to learning. Remember, brightening up the environment encourages better listening and engagement. So, brighten up, check your settings, and create the best possible space for learning. All right, let's talk about some great ways to add style and personality to our space. First, bright tablecloths can really make a table pop and create a cheerful atmosphere. They're perfect for gatherings or just brightening up everyday routines. Next, a washing line for work. This might sound simple, but it's a fantastic way to display your work or projects in a casual, inspiring way. Plus, it adds a touch of creativity and openness to your environment. Then we have colorful posters and pictures. These are excellent for personalizing your space, showing your interests, or inspiring you every day. They bring energy and vibrancy, making the environment more engaging. And finally, decorating with style, whether it's through these colorful elements or other creative touches, really emphasizes that you don't have to sacrifice style for function. All of these ideas tie back to our main theme, creating a space that's not only functional but also expressive and inviting. So remember, decorating with personality can make a big difference in how we feel and work in our environment. Welcome to slide 11. Here, we see how to create inviting and functional zones within our space. First, the resource zone is designed as a safe space filled with books, games, and films. It's a perfect spot for browsing and borrowing, encouraging curiosity and fostering a love of learning. Imagine a cozy corner where everyone can explore new interests comfortably. Next, we have the reading zone. By adding a colorful rug and cushions in this area, we create a cozy escape that invites quiet reading and reflection. It's all about making reading enjoyable and accessible, turning it into a relaxing activity. Then we see the mingle zone. It's important to keep the middle of the room clear, so there's plenty of space for active interaction and movement. This keeps the environment dynamic and engaging, supporting social connections and collaborative activities. Finally, we're encouraged to create learning zones. These specialized areas can be tailored to different activities, making the space adaptable and vibrant. Overall, these zones help us organize the space effectively, making it welcoming, functional, and conducive to both learning and socializing, key themes in creating a successful environment for everyone. All right, we're at the final slide, and I want to leave you with a call to action. Start today. Yes, today. Even small steps can lead to big change over time. So think about what tiny adjustments you can make, whether it's improving how you communicate, creating a more welcoming environment, or simply being more present. Every small change counts. And I want you to see the room through their eyes. Imagine yourself in your team member's shoes, your student's shoes, or your client's shoes. How do they experience your space? What do they feel, see, and hear? Because understanding their perspective is the key to making meaningful improvements. So I encourage you to reflect on these questions, take action today, and really see things from their point of view. That's how you create genuine impact. Thank you for being here and for your commitment to growth.